When the pandemic hit, schools shut their doors and students were forced online. But thousands of kids didn't have internet at home and were left disconnected.
How are we going to go back to school remotely in 2 weeks when I know all these people are disconnected? Chicago was pretty disproportionate in who had access to the internet, and the pandemic definitely made that very, very clear.
When students were forced online, Black and Latino neighborhoods in Chicago were the hardest hit.
La internet se paraba al mediodía, no funcionaba justo a la hora de la tarea, muchos inconvenientes.
Ken Griffin really identified this as a problem that had to be solved and solved quickly.
This is about changing a system that has left so many kids out of it for too long.
This is Daniel Anello, who helped launch the Chicago Connected program.
Chicago Connected came about right after the pandemic hit. We reached out to our network to just say, the school system's closed. What does this look like on the ground for you? But the thing that we kept hearing was this internet connectivity issue.
Iniciando la pandemia, tuvimos muchísimos percances al hacer la tarea por el internet en casa.
And then we started looking at data.
An estimated 1 in 5 children in Chicago didn't have access to internet at home. That's 110,000 kids. And these gaps were far worse in Black and Latino neighborhoods.
The numbers that we saw is upwards of 40% of households didn't have access to internet, and so 1 in 2 families didn't have connection.
And so we pulled together a report that really captured what's the narrative around this.
The report got the attention of Ken Griffin, and together they worked with City Hall and Chicago Public Schools to tackle the problem.
I really started to ask the question, well, is this something we can tackle? I had to ensure that there was an operating model that made sense.
And the plan for Chicago Connected was to provide free internet service covered up front for the first couple of years by philanthropy. Griffin was a leading voice saying, hey, if there's a way for us to fund this, let's do it.
Chicago Connected launched in June 2020, and within 6 months, it cut the connectivity gap in half. Today, it's connected over 100,000 students. That's nearly 1 in 3 CPS students enrolled.
What was really powerful was that we had 10 to 15 other cities that were calling us, asking us, how did we get this done?
With the proven success in Chicago, Ken then worked with partners in Florida to launch Miami Connected. That's because 297,000 Miami households lacked access to broadband internet, 33% of all households in the city.
Miami Connected is our promise to bring internet, digital literacy, and career pathways to over 100,000 students and their families.
Miami Connected is significant, particularly in the context of a pandemic, where you realize how important it is to be connected. The connection at home, it's your ability to socialize, applying for jobs, to get educated when kids were not able to go to school.
Ken's support is really going to make the difference and make sure that more of our households that do not have access will not struggle.
Ken then funded Education Superhighway, a key player in the creation of the Affordable Connectivity Program, which aims to close the digital divide nationally. To date, over 17 million people have enrolled.
In this economy, nobody can get ahead if they are not digitally connected. It is truly going to be a game changer for our community.
It's not just the kids that are benefiting, hundreds of thousands of families are benefiting from this program.